G'day and welcome to another episode. My name is Daethstro, the Aussie Geek, and today we are looking at the Legacy Evolution Armada Hotshot. Now, initially, I admit, I was only going to get Armada Optimus. I had no intention of having an Armada collection. But I admit, I'm quite a fan of the Armada series as well as the 2000, I think, game that came out on the PS2, which honestly they really need to remaster or something. So I ended up picking up Hotshot, and I've got Megatron and Starscream on the way. But I'm only going to do a base level collection of these guys. So I'll get Red Alert, I'll get Demolisher and Cyclonus, and that's it. Personally, I feel that Tidal Wave is overpriced. And I won't go into getting like Sideswipe and Wheeljack and all that. Just the base one. So Optimus, Hotshot, Red Alert, Megatron, Starscream, Demolisher, and Cyclonus when we get those last two. But here we have Hotshot. I really do wish they'd given us a better expression. I've always viewed Hotshot with a big smile. Excuse me. So I think his face is a bit too stoic. Also, my nephew chose this as my next review, so I thought, why not? But yeah, I just wish they'd had give him a little bit better face. I think it's a bit too bland. Not terrible, just a bit bland. I don't have, I think it's Jolt was his standard minicon. There's no Jolt with this one. I didn't get the powered up version. I wasn't going to double up for any reason, but he can at least still do his minicon gimmick, which is you slide the mask down, flip up his wheels, and rotate. And he can do, I don't recall what the actual attack was in the show. But yeah, so he does his tire bazooka bit. Now, just pay attention to where these are. So you want them facing down, and you'll see why in a minute. But I do think the actual visor thing looks pretty cool. And you can tilt it, as far back as that. Otherwise, I think you're just going to pop things off. So there we go. He does come with a gun, which is his engine. It has two handles, which makes kind of sense. Not too bad. It's a bit empty, but it is what it is. It does have an issue though, so I'm just going to put that aside, and we'll get to that when we get to it. So let's get down to articulation. His head, if you grab in the right spot, does a full 360. It feels like it's got a bit of a wiggle back and forwards. I think that might just be for the transformation joint. You can't do a full 360 because of how his shoulder's designed with the shoulder pad. So you're only going to get that far up. You're only going to get that far back. You will have to start untabbing things. Arm goes up that far. We have bicep rotation or upper bicep rotation. We have elbow bend that gets you that far. There's nothing at the wrist, fingers, or thumb, although honestly, I would have loved to have seen him doing a thumbs up for some reason. He does have a waist rotation. There's no ab crunch, even though the pin's there. I think that's just more for his transformation. Legs go up that far. Legs go back that far, and you start hitting the backpack. Legs go out that far. I'll get to the back of his legs in a minute, but you do have upper thigh rotation. It's a pin. There's no actual ball joint there. His knee can be very awkward to get to. So this gets in your way to get any further, and he has a really weird knee design. So you can't really do too much with his knee, and technically it tabs in, so nah. He does have a huge ankle tilt. Toe can't go back, can go down, and no heel. So there we go. All right, let's get down to transformation. So I'm just trying to remember how this works. You want to twist his arms out. So technically his thumb's pointing in towards his thighs. Next, you want to flip these up. And they just tab very, very, very loosely into here. But we'll get back to that when we get to transformation. You're going to, where are you? Fold, sort of untab. So I'm trying to figure out where the tab joints are. It's these two pegs. Where are you? Oh, and these two ports. So you're going to pull the head forward to reveal this cavity, rotate his head, fold that in, close that up. Then you're going to bring this all around, and you have these two tabs that will go into these two ports. So just up and over. I think these are supposed to grab on. I think it's more for the front of the cab, front of the vehicle. We can then fold these back, and this is going to fold back and fill in the wheels. Now, this is why I said make sure that the gaps here are facing this way, because they actually go over this armature. If you've got it the other way, it won't go in. So, yeah, that's why. And then we can bring this back, fold this down. It's a double hinge. Fold that in. Bring this back, fold it in, give it a little wiggle. There is where, of course, you put your jolt, if you actually have one. I'm going to bring these arms out a little bit, and I'm going to twist the waist, because I almost forgot that. All right, so we have the feet, so we're going to fold the feet in. This is where things start getting a little awkward. So I'm going to bring out here and rotate. You want to bring this around. Now, I have popped this off so many times. So just be careful as you're doing that. So rotate that way there. And just bring this around. Just get that out of the way. All right, we can come under here and flip this around. So that's going to sort of fill in some gap at the back and also be a tabbing point. Now, the reason you want to get these to the front is because of the way the legs are designed. So this is all going to fold back. The fist is going to go into here. So you want to bring this down, and you need to fold it up. So if you try to keep that arm in the gap somewhat, and then bring that up. So it just sits in there. There is a tab there, but it doesn't really lock in. It just sort of sits in the groove. All right, same with the other one. Try to keep our windscreen out of the way. So bring that down. Bring this all down. I think I need to actually rotate my windscreens to give them a bit more clearance. So do that way there and bring that way there. Yep, that's better. That gives a bit more clearance. So keep that closed. Bring this in on itself. And I find it easier to come from underneath to plug the front bumper in place. So we have those. You also have a tab here. Tab that together. Now, providing your piece has not folded back in on itself, you want to try and bring these up. You have this port, this tab that will go into this port, same on both sides. So you also have a joint underneath here. So just line that up and compress like so. And then we're almost done. There's also some nice detail in here you can't really see. You bring this back. It's on a double hinge. There's a hinge here and a hinge here. So this will come back. Then this will tab into here. You will have to flex the back end a little bit to get it past. So straight, straight. Flex a little bit and get that tabbed in. And Hotshot is almost finished. Now, I do highly recommend this. Don't fully tab the gun all the way in, just to where you feel comfortable, because I had nothing but trouble getting that to untab the first time I transformed it. I had my parts separator. I had my screwdriver. So I got it off, but I was worried I was going to snap those pegs. So, yeah, don't fully push that all in the way unless you really just want it to see where it is. And I don't know why my front bumpers aren't quite flush. Might be a tab there I missed. Yeah, there's 2 tabs under here. I don't know if you can see them. Try to focus and put some lights on there. So you got these 2 grooves, those 2 there. I don't even think they really... There we go. Got it. So now I'm fully unfocused with the light on. I knew I forgot something there. So there we go. Now I can't quite remember how the super mode worked, but I remember something about this coming out rather. So I don't remember how the rest of it goes. It's been a long time since I played Armada. Watched Armada. Yeah, there we go. So he does look good, although you might just be able to pick it out on my phone. I don't like this. It is terrible. So obviously all this is really this clear blue plastic, and they have had to paint this on. I personally would have preferred this all to be yellow plastic like this, and for them to have put some black paint on the windscreens and not be see-through. Honestly, in vehicle mode, that rooftop really stands out. I don't know how well it'll stand out on the phone, but it just looks terrible. It looks really cheap. So yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Also, I know I pretty much forgot. You have ports for here. That one doesn't have one. Interesting. That there, obviously. Oh, that's probably why, because you put a part effect in there, and that uses the explosive effect. And of course, if you take that off, you have these 2 ports. So there we go. Put that on just where I feel comfortable. All right, size comparison. Here he is with Windblade. The camera up a little bit. There he is with Windblade. So about 2/3 her size. So there we are. All right, let's get back into robot mode. So we're going to take his gun out of the way. And we'll start with the doors. Once again, you're going to have to flex a little bit to get it past so they'll actually come out. And they can just fold down. The same on the other side. And fold down. I'm going to get the roof to untab first. Now, once again, this is one of those moments where I'm usually mess up with the ball joint and pop it off. So, come on. Actually, let's just try separating his legs first, because that's now like really tight together. There we go. We'll just twist it out a little bit. And that got that free anyway. Well, almost free. That one there. And we'll just bring these out. All right. So we'll rotate this around just to get it out of the way. This will fold all the way in. Same on this side. And we'll just rotate that all the way around and just give ourselves some clearance. Then we are going to, once again, we can pop this out a little bit and bring it back in. It's really weird, those legs. And then this tab will go into that port. So that sort of locks your knee in place, but it doesn't really lock it in place. We can then bring this down a little bit to unpop your ankle. And then that can go back. And we want to rotate it this way. With this, you have this sort of, if I can get to focus, you have this groove that's supposed to tab onto here. It doesn't at all. Nothing locks on there. It's loose as goose. So just know that's not going to work, and we can rotate that around. All right, other leg. So we can bring that down, bring that up, get that to tab in, though it doesn't really tab. Yours could do it, mine definitely doesn't. Untab his ankle and bring his foot up. Go on, like so. Roll that back. Bring this around, so we've actually got the row around. Bring this all back and tab it into here. Have I got the row around? Yeah, I got the row around. Well, once again, it don't tab in nowhere. That's not, oh yeah, it is. I was gonna say, I don't even think that's lining up. So then we can rotate the waist. And we can work on the backpack, and my camera's too far down. So we're going to untab that, not that it really untabs much, and bring this back. You're going to flip up these pieces, and it sort of slides against each other. But just be careful still if you're worried about chipping or anything. You can rotate his biceps around the right way, and we can flip out his head. All right, so that actually went further, but I probably wouldn't do it too far, otherwise you'll probably won't be able to get it. There you go, probably like that, but it looks weird. Put it up the top where it's supposed to be. All right, so we rotate this down. So these tab into here again. Not securely, but the shoulders are what really hold it in place. So then you have these two ports that go into these two tabs. So just straight down, and they sit on top. Not secure, they just sit there. And there is Hotshot back in his robot mode. So I am somewhat looking forward to Red Alert when I can actually get him. Right now, I think he's just all the pre-orders everywhere. But we can at least do a final size comparison. So we pull him back a little bit. Here he is with Legacy, and the way I've got him actually standing on my shelf because of the way his feet are. There he is with Legacy, Armada, Optimus Prime. Yes, I keep mine in standard robot mode. The trailer is away in one of my containers. And here he is, of course, with MP10. So he comes up to about shoulder-wise. Actually, shoulders and head's a bit close. So just above the top of his crotch. So there we go. But yes, I am looking forward to Red Alert. I may one day get Tidal Wave if I can get a decent price. But right now, it's just the simple bots. So I don't know. We'll see what happens when things get released. But there we go. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. I promise you it will not hurt my feelings. Subscribe, ring that bell, leave me a comment. Apart from that, thanks for watching. I'll catch you later.